Hi, we're the IB dropouts from St. Mary's. My name's Nicole.
Hi, I'm George.
I'm Antonio.
Hey, I'm Sam.
I'm Raph. Alright, our group was inspired by Mark Rover's video to make a 3x3 grid. Then we tested our design with some paper, but it didn't work very well because the paper was too thick. Yeah, as you can see, it didn't move very much, but it did sort of work. So, instead, we used toilet paper. And it did work a lot better, but the only problem was it went straight down to the bottom of the bin, which doesn't really help our design that much, but at least we knew now that it worked very well. This is us dumping the sand into our little box. As you can see, we used quite a bit of sand, which we had to adjust later because it was a little bit too much. Alright, so here's our box for our little fluidized bed. As you can see, we have 3 bars going across. They do have holes underneath for the air to go through. We have our little valve thing over here, open and close to let the air in and out. Over here, we added a little plank to it so that we get some more air distribution so that the sand doesn't just pile up on one side. And yeah. So we have a grid layer for our thing to maximize the air distribution per surface area. This was our first trial with the fluidized bed, and as you can see, it did work sort of well. You can see the air bubbles coming up from the bottom of the sand bed, and you can see that the golf ball was immersed into the sand bed, and it was pretty fluidized. Only problem was the golf ball wasn't moving very much when we actually put it in. It wasn't behaving like a full liquid. We tested it with 2 golf balls after. We removed a bit of sand, but our air tank, or air compressor didn't have a lot of pressure in it. So you couldn't see the fluidized behavior very well. We tried moving some sand out of the way, but it wasn't enough for our fluid bed to behave like a fluid. Afterwards, we decided to start it first and then put the ball in, which worked a lot better actually, because you can see that the fluid bed behaved very well here. We got all 3 balls to be completely immersed, and when we moved it around with the ruler, it did sort of behave a lot more like a fluid than before. As you can see, it's a lot deeper immersed than it was before. This was our last test. We added a ruler in it just to see if the ruler would also behave like a fluid. So here we insert the golf ball, we release the pressure, and unfortunately the last trial didn't work very well, but when we moved the sand out of the way to make it a little less deep, it did sort of behave more like a fluid, but not as well as it did last time.